Malaysia reported 21 new COVID-19 cases on Friday.
The Health Ministry today reported 16 new COVID-19 cases,
bringing the total number of infections in the country to 8,861.
Pastinya topik kita pada kali ini adalah mengenai COVID-19.
Kerana itulah kerajaan kita melaksanakan Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan.
Ramai yang work from home, ramai yang juga tidak pergi ke sekolah. Sekarang juga cuti sekolah, ramai pelajar-pelajar universiti pulang ke rumah dan sebagainya.
Petugas kolaborasi antara MOSTI, KKM dan Kementerian Luar ditubuhkan.
Malaysia mungkin mendapat akses kepada vaksin.
Malaysia juga sedang berusaha untuk berbincang dengan pihak negara China.
Wakil Yassin has announced new economic measures.
Malaysia has reported a jump in COVID-19 cases.
Warned that the current supply would only last for 2 weeks.
Dan kita tidak dapat kawal.
Hashtag just stay at home sepatutnya sudah tular. Yang dinyatakan sendiri oleh Perdana Menteri Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin.
Just stay at home.
The city that once was bustling with life and energy was now quiet. Only essential service personnel filled up the streets, as well as those who tried to escape the confines of their own home by grocery shopping. It's almost forgettable that just a few weeks before, Malaysia was thrown into slight chaos.
A lot of people went into panic buying.
And there's quite a number of people actually travel interstate.
And while people tried to get out, some were trying to get back in.
The situation in the UK was actually pretty dire already. I actually have a chronic illness called endometriosis. One of the concerns was that I would not get the healthcare access I need during the time of a pandemic.
I think the mask itself would be something that people would use. We get haze, we got air pollution all the time that people also will be using the mask. We could see a lot of changes that might happen after this whole MCO and COVID is over. People might be a bit more aware about being more hygiene, and these things could maybe be something that is a requirement.
Pada ketika ini kita mengikuti semua perintah larangan yang dikeluarkan oleh kerajaan Malaysia. MCO sedang berlaku sekarang. The MCO period is going on and we cannot open our restaurant and to let people come inside to eat.
It's very scary to be honest because we don't know what we are getting at, especially when someone says you will not have any symptoms at all. But of course, as what we practice, we know that we are practicing quite well. So the protective equipments that we were wearing sort of shielded us a bit.
Well, I don't see myself as a hero because this is my job. This is my work.
To be crowned as a hero, I think it's unfair. Everyone plays their role. We work together to combat this. Actually, the people are the frontliners because the doctors and the healthcare workers are actually the last line of defense.
Dia ni highly infectious, but is it severe to our health? Maybe not. Kita takut kita akan menjangkiti orang yang lebih tua ataupun orang lebih sakit. Most of the severe cases are 65 years old and above. They have underlying diseases.
But of course, other sectors are facing similar dilemmas.
Retail has dipped about 90%. Some restaurants have decided to just shut down.
Ada banyak syarikat yang kecil yang takut sama ada dia boleh menangani masalah kegawatan ekonomi yang akan kita hadapi selepas MCO COVID ini dihabiskan.
The F&B sector account for 4 million jobs in the country. And these are the guys who are running the small restaurants, the small burger places, the small Chinese places.
It's for the greater good, I guess. If all F&B operators insist on running, there won't be an end to this.
Ekonomi Malaysia dijanakan oleh kedai makcik dan pakcik dan semua yang kecil-kecil.
It's in those moments when your back is against the wall that you realise what you're capable of and what you can do and how creative or how resilient one can be.
A bit tough but I understand that there are hawker owners who rely on that daily income. It is not easy for them to say, okay, I shut down for the greater good because doing that as well means that they don't eat.
People who get paid by the hour are probably the most affected, because if you don't work, you don't get paid.
The bottom 40% of Malaysia has a reported mean income of only 2,848 ringgit, and roughly 90% is spent on day-to-day consumption. They never had the means to survive a shock, let alone a pandemic. The government themselves were trying their hardest, taking steps to help as many people as possible, including the homeless, orang asli, and struggling communities. In many cases, NGOs and companies were working hand in hand with the government to distribute food and resources to ill-stricken areas.
There are aids, but they are trickling in, and as they trickle in, we start to step out and prioritize for other areas.
Short-term relief efforts seem to be working, with generosity and unity leading the drive.
Certain aids are very specific, so not everyone would be probably registered to even receive an aid. Some of them might have to be registered with LHDM, or they might have to be registered with BSH, Bantuan Sara Hidup, or open system registration, where you have to register and then they verify you. But how many of them have got this access? How many of them actually has got this literacy to know that there's an aid being provided to them?
Let's not even talk about computers. Some of them don't even have smartphones. So how are they going to apply?
83% internet penetration in Malaysia is impressive, but we tend to forget how large the remaining balance actually is.
5 juta orang tak ada akses kepada internet dan menggunakan telefon biasa.
And all that, I believe, is what we call as the digital divide, or the disparity when it comes to digital access. It's due to birth lottery. It's due to part of Malaysia that you're living in. It's due to the education background. And obviously, it's due to your wealth and purchasing power.
And for those with internet, usages are sometimes limited.
Orang yang tak mahir lagi atau yang golongan kurang mampu susah, dia menakutkan, or some dia menakutkan.
The fear does not only exist in people due to age, because they were not exposed to it. There are some younger people who are only exposed to some part of the internet that are not beneficial to them, for them to build capacity, for them to be better. Technology has its good impact and its bad impact. So when it comes to disparity, that is somewhat the negative and potentially unintended impact of the rapid digital development in Malaysia.
It is probably worse than what we can expect. We started receiving more distress call.
Masala Wheels was started to help at-risk youth, but this MCO gave them a chance to do more.
So there was a request for 240 meals. So when we put it up on social media, we realized many people, many caring Malaysians wanted to come forward to actually contribute for the other beneficiaries as well. So we launched the initiative called Food Without Borders.
And of course, they weren't the only ones to keep the kitchen open to help those in need.
We have no choice at the moment. Sebagai seorang Malaysia, saya mesti menjaga semua orang yang kerja di sini. Tetapi saya juga mesti menjaga keluarga saya. Saya juga mesti menjaga community saya sebanyak mana yang saya boleh.
And this idea is not just for humans, but animals as well.
So I'm here today to feed some of the stray dogs that are here. We are big on feeding strays and trying to find them homes, because we look at all of them as, well, first and foremost, God's creatures. So we've taken it upon ourselves to be responsible for them, because ultimately these animals don't really have a voice, and we are their voice. At least we can give them food.
So while I did nothing but hold a camera and millions of people stayed home, there were hundreds and thousands of frontliners, entrepreneurs and NGOs helping to support our nation in whatever way they could. This is definitely the definition of unity. This is what we do. This is Malaysia, a community that takes care of everyone.